y'all, it's Gabrielle, and welcome back to our beautiful community in the skies. Today is our final class of our Tuning Inwards Yoga Philosophy series. And if you haven't checked out some of the other videos that we've been practicing throughout the week, then go do that. But today, our focus will be on the yoga principle or yogic principle of Aparigraha. And Aparigraha means non-attachment, non-possessiveness as well. And that can show up in a multitude of varieties. So how we maybe or might be clinging to, whether it be possessions, maybe even to people from a place of fear or lack of or scarcity, and even detaching from some of our thoughts, maybe even the outcome of how we're showing up and in different scenarios, and instead just allowing ourselves to be mindful and creating space in order to just feel, and not in a way that is reactive, but just allowing ourselves to intuitively be and feel. So throughout this practice, we'll be just going through not attaching to the outcome of the posture, but just allowing ourselves to be. So you don't necessarily need any props here in this class, but if you like them, go grab them, and we'll just go ahead and start and hop on our mat. So to start our practice, we'll come down in our seated position just for a little bit. In our easy seated pose with the legs crossed, or if you'd like, extending them outwards, if that feels better, and adding any props underneath your bottom to begin. Bring one palm to the belly, one palm to the chest as we just take an inhale through the nose, either closing your eyes here or lowering them down to the mat. And exhale, release. Inhaling through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. And one more time, and inhale through the nose. And exhale out of the mouth. And this time, as we sweep the arms up overhead on our inhale, reaching the palms upward, and exhale, release the right palm down to your mat. Left arm floats right in line with the left ear, coming into our side stretch, drawing that shoulder back as we open the chest to the sky. Inhale, release the left palm down, and right palm sways right in line with the right ear, coming into that stretch. Holding just for a second as we warm the spine. And inhale, we'll float back up. Interlace the palms behind us. And if that's too much on the wrist for any reason, just placing the palms behind you. As we begin to draw the shoulders back wherever you are, opening our chest. And on the inhale, release the chin down towards the chest as we draw the left ear over to the left, right ear over, taking our neck circles here. Inhaling as we look up to the sky, and exhale as we draw the chin down towards the chest. And reverse the circle in the opposite direction. And on the inhale, the neck comes back up to neutral as we sweep the arms overhead. Palms can connect at the top, and bring the palms to center here as you take a big breath in and exhale when you're ready. And also, I offer here today for you in our theme of Aparigraha, thinking of something that you can detach from or non-attachment, whether it's a specific thought or maybe something that you can release or surrender and let go, not holding on to it, not overly consuming or possessing. And thinking of that one thing that you can release here today on your mat. Sealing it as your intention, and we'll release the palms down. And we'll come up to standing. So making your way up however you need to travel there. Rooting into the feet as we sweep the arms up overhead, and exhale, begin to hinge forward from the hips, coming into our gorilla pose. So we'll lift the toes off of the mat and place the palms underneath the feet. And gently press the toes down onto the palms here. So stretching out the wrist, soft bend in the knee. And if this is not accessible today for any reason, just coming into a forward fold as you release tension from the back or from our spine. So finding what feels good, not attaching from the outcome here or what it looks like, and focusing on more on how it feels in your body, listening to your body. And on the exhale, when you're ready, gently lift up the toes, release the palms from underneath the feet, and we'll just begin to alternate bending one knee and then the other here. And on the inhale, bend into the left knee. Left palm comes to your mat or to your shin or hip as you reach the right arm up to the sky for a twist. So find your variation here. And we'll gently just roll the wrist in a circle. And either keeping the arm up to the sky or coming into the bind here. Bring the right palm on the lower back or towards the left hip. Draw that right shoulder back. Gaze can float up or down in your twist. Inhale, reach the right arm back up to the sky. And exhale, sweep it down to your mat as we alternate bending those knees again. And on the inhale, bend the right knee and reach the left arm up to the sky. Right palm can come to your hip or your shin here in your twist. And exhaling, rolling the left wrist in circles. Taking it the opposite way. And exhale, release the arm behind your lower back into a bind if it feels comfortable here. Inhale, reach the left arm up to the sky. Bring it back down to your mat or shin as we alternate bending those knees. Inhale, soft bend in the knees. Palm floats to the heart as we lift up in our halfway lift. Pushing back up, root into the feet. And exhale, shift a little bit forward here. And exhale, release into your forward fold. Inhale, ground into the feet as we sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, bring the palms to heart center in our Anjali Mudra. Inhale and exhale, sweep those arms back up. And as we sweep the arms up, root into the left foot as we lift the right foot up. Finding our balance in our one-leg Tadasana or mountain pose. And you can either stay here or toes connect to the mat. And we'll begin to externally rotate our hip and bring it back in. So just beginning to open up our inner thighs. And if you need to, placing the toes down and outwardly rotating that hip. So find what feels good. Palms can come onto the hips for balance. Nice and steady. Lifting tall in the torso. And on the exhale, we'll extend the hip out to the right, hold. And on the inhale, we'll bring it back to center and begin to float the right foot back, coming into our warrior one. So adjust your feet as the right toes kick out to the right side of your mat, bend into the left knee. Arms are up towards the sky, palms facing together as we shine the chest forward in our warrior one here. Nice and strong. Exhale, release the palms behind you and shine the chest up and forward here for a slight back bend. Inhale, sweep the arms back up overhead. Find stability into the feet as we reach the right arm, crossing it in line with the right ear. Left palm can come to the top of the thigh or the side of the body. Finding your stretch, just like we did in our warm-up. And exhale. Release the right palm down and left arm sweeps overhead for your stretch. So really ground into the feet Engage your belly to find some stability here as you bend into that front knee. And inhale, sway back up into our warrior one. Exhale, open the arms, pivot the back foot, coming into our warrior two, bending in our front knee. Nice strong arms here. And on the exhale, float into our extended side angle. Left palm comes down to the left thigh, right arm reaches over. And if it feels comfortable, maybe you bring the palm down to your mat. So find what feels good. And on the inhale, we'll sway, begin to straighten the leg, So you may need to walk this back foot in as we come into our triangle pose. So rooting into the feet, left palm comes down to the shin, right arm comes right in line with the right ear. If you have a block, you can place that left palm on a block here as we rotate from the spine in our triangle. Finding stability. And on the inhale, you can either stay here or reach the arms up as if we're grabbing for something here. So using our core, that right arm right in line with the ear. And on the inhale, we'll sway back and coming into our reverse triangle. Right palm comes down, left arm reaches in line with the left ear. Still having that straight front leg. And inhale, we'll sway back. Arms come up. So you can take your traditional triangle or lifting the arms up as we engage the belly. Root into the feet. And on the inhale, we'll sway up, bend into the knee. Warrior two. And float back into your reverse warrior on our exhale. Inhale, come into our warrior two. And exhale, palms float down to the mat. Take your time as you step the left leg back. And we'll lower the knees down. So we can either tuck the toes here and come into a child's pose floor as we sway the hips back. And inhale, round the spine up. Or we can come onto the tips of the toes and lift up in our plank position and shift forward and float back into your down dog. So these are just two options here that you can take. Find what feels good. Pad your knees if you need to, if the knees are connected to the mat. And we'll just allow our breath to move with fluidity with our body as well. Inhale as you ripple the spine forward wherever you are. And exhale as you float back. So we'll just take a couple of rounds here. And on the exhale, we'll float back into our down dog, our child's pose. And if you're in your child's pose, you can come up and meet us in down dog, pedaling out the feet. As you root into the palms here, draw the belly down towards the top of the thighs, ground into the corners of the feet here. Inhale through the nose, exhale out of the mouth. And on the inhale, bend into the feet or into the knees, and we'll slowly use our core to come back. Take your time into our forward fold, releasing down. And we'll come back into our gorilla or just staying in your forward fold. Lift the toes off of the mat, bring the palms underneath the feet here. Soft bend in the knees. And on the exhale, lifting the toes gently off of the wrist or the palms. And on the inhale, bring the palms to the heart as we lift up in our halfway lift or half forward fold, shifting slightly forward here, coming into our flat back. And exhale, release. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead. Exhale, bring the palms back to the heart. Coming back to your intention of release, surrender, non-possessiveness, non-attachment. And how we continue to implement that in our practice. Non-attaching from our thoughts, non-attaching or detaching from the idea of what the pose is supposed to look like. Intuitively just letting ourselves feel as you begin to walk to the top of the mat. And we'll reach the arms overhead again and begin to root into the right foot as we lift the left foot up. So find your balance or keep the toes on the mat, draw the knee in, and either staying here or exhale, send that left hip out to the side, our left knee joint up to the side. As you draw that leg back, maybe you find some engagement in your glute as well. And maybe you hold there, just seeing how that feels. And on the exhale, holding the left knee out to the side. And we'll bring it back in and step it back, coming into that warrior one. So moving your feet, adjusting that front foot forward, left toes pivot out to the left side of the mat as you lift up. Exhale, interlace the palms behind you here. And we'll shine the chest up to the sky for a slight back bend. Still bend into that front knee. Inhale, sweep the arms back up overhead. And exhale, side bend over to the right. Left arm travels over towards the left. Right palm can come on the top of the right thigh or the back leg. Inhale, use your core to slowly come up. And we'll sway over to the left. Right arm reaches over. Left palm can come to the back of the leg or the right thigh. Really rooting here into your mat as you sway back up, warrior one. Exhale, arms go out into our T. Pivot the back foot back into our warrior two. So just see how this side feels. Does it feel even or balanced? Do you need to adjust? And exhale, coming into extended side angle. Right arm comes down to right thigh, left arm reaches across. And you can always bring that right palm down to your mat or to a block. And inhale, straighten the right leg. Coming into our triangle, you may need to walk that back foot in. Release the right palm down to your shin. Left arm floats up right in line with your left ear for our triangle pose. Breathing here. And on the inhale, you can either stay here or reach both arms out to the side. So we're really engaging the belly button in, finding stability as you still rotate from the lower spine. And on the inhale, we'll sway back up. And exhale, reverse triangle. Right arm comes back. Inhale, we'll float back in to our triangle here, our lifted triangle with the arms out. Or come into your traditional triangle. And inhale, we'll sway back into reverse triangle. Inhale, bend into the knee. Float back into warrior two. And exhale, float into your reverse warrior here. Inhale, warrior two. And exhale, bring the palms down to your mat. And we'll step back. Right knee, leg can meet the left. And we'll come back into our plank or our child's pose flow. So knees can come down to your mat as you float back and forth in that child's pose. Or you float back from your plank. And on the exhale, wherever you are in your plank variation, we'll lower down, bending the elbows, releasing the toes down to the mat, and our arms will go out as wide or a little bit wider than our mat. Coming into a cobra variation as we shine the chest forward, Peel the chest back and lift up. So rooting into the feet. And exhale, lower back down. We'll inhale, lifting back up. And not judging how high or how far you go. And exhale, release. Bring the palms to the sides of the body and pushing yourself up into your table and then your down dog. Pedal out the feet. And on the exhale, gaze to the top of your mat. And we'll slowly walk to the top of our mat into our forward fold. And inhale, sweep the arms back up. Exhale, bring the palms to the heart center. Inhale through the nose and exhale, release. Release the palms by the side for a second. And just root into the feet. And on the inhale, we'll sweep the arms back up. Root into our right foot. And we'll lift the left leg up. So coming back into our one leg Tadasana. And on the exhale, we'll twist, or not twist, but shift the right knee or the left knee over to the left side of our mat. So coming into a different way of our tree pose. So we'll hold here and then draw the foot to your calf or to the top of your thigh. So finding our stability here, or toes can just stay connected to the mat. So find what feels good in your tree as you hug the heel into the leg wherever you are. Arms are lifted up. Engage your glutes and your belly for stability. And if you like, you can play around with the arms on the hips, out to the side, at heart center. So find what feels good here. Feeling nice and centered in our body. And on the inhale, we'll sweep the arms back up. We'll lift the thigh back out to the side, our left leg. Find that balance. Draw it back in nice and controlled. And release. Shake out that leg. So I always like a good balancing pose as you release. And we'll take it to the other side. So I'll just turn around so you can see this side. So this time we'll root into the left foot. Sweep the arms up as we lift that right foot up off of the mat. Turn the right hip out to the side. Hold for a second. And exhale, bring the foot to the calf, to your thigh, or the toes down to your mat in our tree pose. Hugging the heel into the calf or the leg. And arms playing around with the arms. And on the inhale, lift the right leg up, hold out to the side. Soften in the left knee. And we'll bring the hip forward and back down. And release the palms. Shake out the feet here. And we'll sweep the arms back overhead. And exhale, palms float to heart center as we walk the heels out to the edge of our mat, coming into our Malasana. So in our Malasana, we'll sink the hips down, either staying here as we tuck the tailbone down, engaging the belly, staying lifted, or you can come all the way down. You may need to adjust and come here. So wherever you are, and if you have your block, placing your block underneath your pelvis or your bottom. And if we're in our lower squat, draw the elbows back into the inner thighs here to open the chest. So find what feels good here. And maybe check in with your jaw, making sure we're not clenching. Maybe moving it around here. As we inhale, exhale audibly, release. And we'll begin to release down to our mat. Take your time, however you need to get there, as we lower down to our mat, nice and gentle, as we bring the knees in towards the chest, rocking from side to side. And reverse the circles here, releasing tension from our lower back, our lumbar spine. And we'll bring the soles of the feet together for our reclined Baddha Konasana. Palms can come to the belly or to the sides. Close the eyes, or if you like, gaze floats up to the sky. Taking a big inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. Again, breathing in through the nose. Exhale, release. And as you breathe here, is there any tension or movement that you can take to release? To let go? Allowing yourself to remember that you are not defined by some of the thoughts that you have in your mind, that you're not defined by some of the negative self-talk that you tell yourself, that you're not defined by some of the things that people may tell you that might not be kind or nice. And just allowing yourself to release from those things. Releasing from their control of those things. And knowing that you have the power and autonomy to release, to let go, to surrender, even sometimes when it doesn't always feel like it. And if you have more time, I invite you to stay here, maybe take another pose in a final resting position. Or we'll begin to draw the knees in, nice and gentle, and rolling over to one side. Take your time, holding for a second over to the side, and begin to bring the palms to the mat. And we'll gently lift up slowly, head coming up last. And we'll come into a seated position of your choice, or staying where you are, lying down. As we bring the palms to heart center and taking our 3 rounds of cleansing breath as a community. Breathing in through the nose. Exhale, release. Inhale, big breath in. Exhale out of the mouth. And this final time on your own. Coming back to your intention for what you're choosing to surrender or release today. And remembering that as you go off on your mat. So thank you again for joining me, for showing up for yourself, and for continuing or finishing our day 5 of our series. So I look forward to you joining me again on the mat. And until next time, namaste. So I hope you enjoyed our final class, a part of our Tuning Inwards Yoga series. And congratulations once again for making it this far, or even for just starting if you just started today. So because this is our first series, I would definitely love to hear some feedback on how you felt, if it was accessible, if it was too long, too short, as well, since this was the first one on our platform, on our community. So I definitely love to hear. And also, if you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. And also, you can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Supported Skies Yoga. And also connect a little bit deeper with me in our newsletter, our monthly newsletter. And we'll be having another one come out soon. So the link is below for that. So definitely, I can't wait to see y'all again, checking back in with y'all on our next class on the mat. So I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.